Well, living on the road like I do, I am in the public very often. So I have to deal with a lot of people. I'm a very solitary person. I like to be by myself, but when you live as a nomad, you are forced into society. That's why a lot of people who are mentally unstable, who don't, a lot of people who have never had a job, who aren't used to functioning in society, they get into the nomad life and they collapse after a couple of weeks because what they don't realize is you're not going to be by yourself. You're going to be surrounded by effing people. And you have to learn how to deal with people. And that's why many people can't hold a job. Why can't many people hold a job? Because the number one thing you do when you have a job, whether you work remotely or you work in an office or whether you work in a ditch, and I've worked in all three, is you have to learn to deal with people. And people can suck. People bring issues. People bring baggage. People bring aggravation. And you can't avoid it in life. You can't avoid it. But that's why I say you want to go far in life, just show up, because most people are going to quit because they can't deal with people. But that being said, let me tell you some things today that happened that I had to shake my head and say, fucking people, man. I'm in Starbucks this morning. I need to do work. I need to get Wi-Fi. I'm in Starbucks. I'm disciplined. I get up early. I do what I need to do. So when I get up early and I'm in Starbucks, there's not too many people yet there. So, I'm doing what I need to do. As the morning progresses, as you get close to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, Starbucks starts to get more and more people. Okay. People get out of their bed. People are getting ready to go to work. So Starbucks becomes very crowded, between, 9 a.m. to noon, it becomes very crowded. So like I always do, I position myself in a corner so that I'm not around a lot of people. I can focus on my job, and I don't like to be bothered. And I intentionally do that. But that being said, I'm sitting by myself. I have my bag in front of me. I have my laptop open. A herd of older women start to come into Starbucks. And I mean a herd. Look like Bob Wells' ex-wives. Okay, one by one. That's right. Bob Wells been divorced. Hate to break it to you. He's not perfect either. So a bunch of older women start filing in. At one time, I had to check, is this Starbucks or the Social Security office? Because there was a lot, guys. A lot of older women coming in. But I say, you know what? Out of all the people in the world, I like older people. Why? Because they're not in a rush on average. They're not, playing the game of society. So maybe this isn't going to be too bad. But sure enough, these older women start to surround me. And I'm looking at it like, oh, what the hell's going on? But, I'm looking at the corner of my eye. But they start to surround me. And more start to follow in. And then some middle-aged woman, not a younger woman, guys, okay? She was in her late 40s, okay? And if you're in your late 40s, you're middle-aged. But, she thought she was young because everyone else was in their 70s and 80s. So this middle-aged woman, I found out, she's the leader. Because I see her, talking with authority and directing these old women. Talk about someone who couldn't make it in life. If you got to be like a 40-year-old boss of a bunch of old women, you failed in life, guys. Especially after I tell you the end of the story. Wait till you hear this. So I said, well, isn't this nice? This middle-aged woman is playing like caretaker to a bunch of these older women. They got nothing going on in life. Their relatives left them for dead. So I guess, I don't know what she was talking about. I thought they're probably multi-level marketers, recruiting other old people to make money, trying to supplement their Social Security. Fucking people. But I said, I'm not going to pay them attention. I got work to do. And I mind my business, guys. I got to vent now because these people kill me. So I go to the bathroom. Sure enough, now, next to me was 6 empty seats. And I was cornered into the back of the corner. I was cornered after they started to follow in. So then there was only one seat open next to me. I tried to move all my stuff, in my one area. I go to the bathroom. I come back, and another older lady has taken my seat. And I said to myself, it couldn't even have been a mistake because my laptop was set up. I had my mouse, had everything. And it was my seat was directly in front of all my belongings. So I said to myself, it's not like she can make a mistake. I mean, you have to be senile. And maybe she was senile. You have to be senile not to realize that's my seat or someone's seat. But sure enough, she sat her old ass in it. And so I come back and say, Lord, give me the grace. Give me the grace to deal with people. because this ain't right. I said to myself in my head, I said, Sam, how am I going to handle this? I said, I'm going to handle it like I always do. I said, I'm not going to cause a scene. I'm going to take my stuff and I'll go to another Starbucks or somewhere else because I want to avoid conflict. I want to avoid drama. So I go to the register. I get one more thing of water and a coffee. And I go back to wrap up my belongings. And the women start to pile outside. And then as they're piling in, the younger middle-aged woman comes up to me. She goes, oh, sir, I'm sorry about that. That other lady didn't realize it was your seat. I said, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. A day late and $1 short. She didn't correct her. Like why she was sitting down. She waited till everyone left to correct her. I'm not buying it. So either way, I'm packing up my belongings because now I'm pissed, but I was nice. I didn't say anything to anyone, guys, because I don't cause problems. So I pack my stuff, and as I walk outside, guess what this group was? And guess what this middle-aged woman was? A church group. I walk outside, and the middle-aged woman, I guess she's like a pastor of this old-ass congregation. She's telling the old flock about how we have to bring God into this earth and we have to show others the grace of God, the love of God. We are commanded to come down here and show others God. I'm saying to myself, how the fuck you going to show people the love of God and you sitting in people's seats? I'm showing the love of God because I didn't black out on that old ass lady. I showed grace. This is how demented the religious mind is. They don't correct their fellow follower for sitting in someone else's seat. They don't pay attention to their surroundings. What they do is they preach dogma because all it is a gathering of people. These old women have nothing to do. This middle-aged woman couldn't hack it in the real world because she couldn't deal with people. She couldn't deal with corporations. So what she figured is, let me get some old senile women and lead them. And I'm going to lead them blindly. Because how are you going to tell people? This is the problem I had too when I started to leave the church. Because they were talking about like going and handing out tracts in the parks and stuff like that, and half the congregation was getting divorces. There was affairs. There was like money problems. How are you going to go send out tracts? How are you going to tell people about God if your own house is messed up? And that's what these people were doing. So I just shook my head and I said, "Effing people, man." But again, I'm screaming now. I'm being very boisterous, but I said nothing harsh. I was very kind. I could have blacked out and I would have been justified, but I didn't. Because I understand people and I understand society. And so I just let it be. I showed the love of God. Believe it or not, someone who wears no underwear and masturbates regularly, and who's not a glutton, I showed the love of God. They were all overweight, eating Starbucks sugary drinks, talking about bringing God to the earth. Total disgrace. Okay. And the next thing was, later on that day, I go to the park. Okay. And so, like I always do, just like I do in Starbucks, I park away from everyone else because I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to be bothered with people. I want to be by myself, guys. So I park by myself. There's nothing but open spots on both sides. I got my doors open because I'm getting stuff out of my car. And someone comes whipping around. They got body damage on their car. If you see someone on the street driving and they have body damage to their car, basically meaning they've already been in an accident, that shows you who you're dealing with. You're dealing with someone who's already been in an accident. They don't know how to drive. And they're not even going to get their car fixed. They're just going to run around with body damage on their car. So this person is coming around the corner hot and like almost runs me over. Because they didn't realize, like, I'm standing on the other side of my car. Even though there's wide open spots, they wanted to park right next to me. All tinted out windows, body damage on their car, and guess who gets out? A younger guy and his young wife, and they're getting the baby out of the baby seat in the back seat. Total irresponsible parents that shouldn't even have kids. And I said to myself, fucking people, man, I can't believe this. And then the final thing, like someone snaked me today. I had a task to do something with a bunch of people. And like always, I try to be conscious. I try to work with all parties. Thank God I document. I document everything. But I went out of my way. And when you start to initiate something with someone, I believe in showing a lot of effort and listening in the beginning so you can plan right. So I do that. But a lot of other people, they don't want to pay any effort until they have to do what they have to do. They don't play any effort. They don't want to play a part in it. But then when the task comes down to them, then they want to complain about everything. And so like when they had to do their part, like they blamed, well, why wasn't this planned out? Why wasn't that? I said, whoa. I've been asked that question. I was planning it. I was researching it. I work with people and they just like threw me under the bus. And I said, man, this is why people quit their job. And this is why people like can't function in society, because people are, a lot of them, they're really like snakes. But I understand it. And so again, what do? I just take it on the chin. And I only fight battles once in a blue moon when it's really worth fighting. Because many times, if you fight the battle, you're going to end up suffering. It's in your best interest not to engage in conflict, even if you're justified. My man, Survivor, who got divorced, but he also got someone in this country. He married her, and she just married him for the papers. So, hey, it takes two to tango. You wanted sex, and she wanted her legal papers, and you both played a game. But now, bottom line is, Survivor has got child support, and he's got an ex-wife, and now she's a citizen, so he can't say shit now. So she's a citizen, she's busting his chops, okay? So she says to Survivor, she was being nice, and she says, like, I lost my child support, can you give me another check, or this and this and that? So Survivor runs me through this whole thing about how she was only nice, and then as soon as he basically said he wasn't going to do it for her because he already did what he was supposed to do, she messed up. And I understand his frustration. It just goes back to the point I gave you about work. Like sometimes you do what you're supposed to do, but someone else doesn't do their part, and then when they're screwed, they want to blame you. Well, not my fault, and it's not Survivor's fault. But basically, I told Survivor, you know what my advice was, brother? Do what's in your best interest, which is be civil. Like I'm venting now at the end of the day, dealing with a lot of people. But how I navigated through the day was I was very civil. I wasn't cursing. I wasn't telling people to kick rocks. I wasn't throwing other people under the bus. Now, I wasn't letting people define me. Like, I'll speak up for myself, but not in a way where it's a conflicting way, okay? Because I want to avoid drama. But what's in your best interest is to stay civil. Avoid the conflict, document, and just get away from people, man. But you have to deal with people, guys. Because if you don't deal with people, you're not going to be able to function in society. Damn sure ain't going to be a nomad. Yeah, you can't be a nomad without dealing with... You're going to deal with more people as a nomad than you would if you had a house. Or if you were renting an apartment. Because a lot of people that are dysfunctional mentally, they just stay locked up there in an apartment all day. They're watching the Game of Thrones. They're watching YouTube. And they got 20 different profiles, 20 different free Netflix accounts. They've applied for disability 10 times, but they haven't applied for Walmart once. I know who I'm dealing with. Oh, yeah, I know who I'm dealing with. So let me tell you this, guys. Effing people. You can't live with them, but you got to navigate around them. Why? Because it's in your best interest. Okay. And so that's the message tonight. We'll go into all live comments. I appreciate it if you click that thumbs up button, share the video, and then leave a comment if you want. Let me roll down these windows, get some air, man. Dealing with people all day. That'll do it to you guys. The grace of God be with you. Church group. Oh, what a disaster. Let me approve some comments here too. Cameron came in hot on that. Sally. All right, live comments. Mackle J, what's up, brother? You don't ever feel lonely? After what I just told you about people, I feel crowded, man. I feel like I can't get away from people. So nah, man, I'm good. I masturbate. I could be around people. I'm around enough people as I want. If you get lonely, I'll send some people over your house. Mackle J, you almost basically got into a fight and got arrested. Last time I talked to you, you were so pissed at someone, okay? So if you ever get lonely, Mackle J, just send me a direct message, okay? I'll send the church group that I met in Starbucks, I'll send them to your house, all right? And then you tell me, like, if you're still lonely, all right? I love you, brother. Sally, heart emoji and thumbs up, thank you. Kila, I think I'm saying that right. Hey, it's my 26th birthday, man. It was weird waking up at 26 in my Prius at a truck stop. Well, welcome to reality. But it was payday. There you go, brother. And I remembered that whole check is all me. Well, yeah, after you pay gas, after you pay your car insurance, after you pay the extra food cost that isn't living in your car, and all the other expense after you save for retirement. Because if you're 26 and you're not saving for retirement and you don't have some type of financial discipline, you'll be 36 living in that truck stop and you're going to be like, F people, F this world. So if one is happy birthday, brother. I don't want to just go into like beating you up. Happy birthday. Love and respect to you. Many more healthy and happy days. Thank you for the comment and thank you for sharing. That's number one. Number two is good job having a job. So congratulations to that. How do you keep a job? You got to learn to deal with people because you're always going to deal with them. Why should you deal with them? Because it's in your best interest. You don't get a paycheck unless you're willing to deal with people. Okay. That a big part of your paycheck is saying, congratulations, you were willing to deal with people and not just quit. So when you get a paycheck, here's how I want you to think of it. You are getting paid to deal with people. That's a big part of your paycheck, guys. Like, when you look at a paycheck stub, whether it's digital or a paper stub, and you look at all the deductions, like federal income took out this much, disability took out this much. Come on, guys, you got to pay for that. And all the other things. I want you to think that there's a major deduction on that pay stub for dealing with people. And so, congratulations, but save up and welcome to the Nomad life, brother. Good to see you. Ryan B. Hey, baby, Ryan B. You stay positive too, Prius guys. I'm a traveling van. He knows about psychopaths. Boomer woman have severe entitlement issues. Well, traveling van, it was a disaster today, man. Thank God. Traveling van. I told you there are bigger a-holes in the church than outside church. Well, brother, you preaching to the choir. Traveling van, you preach to the choir. I already know. But I love you, brother, and I appreciate you, man. Gilbert. I love this title, Sammy. Well, tell it like it is. Yep, I appreciate that. But you got to be careful because Dave Chappelle did a skit about when keeping it real goes wrong. So, guys, right now, this is my personal space, and I'm venting to you. But in reality, whether it was at Starbucks dealing with that church group, whether it was at the park dealing with those two young couple with a kid that had body damage on their vehicle, or whether it was dealing with someone who snaked me, I was civil, I wasn't disrespectful, and I didn't cause a scene. Why? Because it's in my best interest to be so. But it's hard, guys. You think that's easy? That's why I got to vent. It's very hard. Reserved. Do you find work relationships easier or more difficult in your remote position? Easier, but they all suck. There's a different skill set. You have to be able to visualize the relationship. And many people who aren't good with technology, they're hands-on guys or hands-on girls, they travel, they go to meet people because they're not good with virtual relationships. And they may have an issue documenting or whatever. Like I know a lot of guys that got promoted and they came from like working with their hands and they never adapted to the technology era because they would go to visit other people, but a visit wasn't necessary. Sometimes you got to have your presence, but a lot of times there's not much you're going to find out when you visit them. It's the matter of fact of you have to be able to present information remotely. You have to be able to use technology to present that information, document it, and keep an open line of communication. But whether you're in an office or remotely, either way, you got to deal with people and it sucks. But I prefer remotely because it's a little bit less aggravation in my opinion, but you have to be disciplined and you better have your documentation because when you work remotely, even when you have good people around you, and I'm blessed to have good people around me as far as who I work with, you are on an island, meaning that you are measured even more by your output. Because like when you show up to a job on an office, you're measured basically just by showing up, okay? So when you're working remotely, you're measured by how many tasks you completed, the results of those tasks. It's purely by your output. And so a lot of people just go to an office or they go to a job and they just hide. They just show up, they watch me. There's probably like at least 5 people in here right now. They're at their job watching me. They're not working. So it's like, but when you're measured by your output, it's a different story. All right, let's continue to read. Reserve compared to working in person. Just broke it down. Cameron, don't let them coerce you. I didn't, brother. Yeah, it's in my best interest to stay calm. Good job, Cameron. I don't know what that means. Me in the face. I hear that. Oh, smack me in the face. Yeah. Big Dirty. Damn it, Big Dirty stepping up his YouTube game. He got a good video out there reviewing RVs and talking about what's involved when you transport those RVs. You know what Big Dirty said? Big Dirty said he basically blew his own spot, and then he tried to cover it up. I'll tell you what he said. Big Dirty is an overweight car transporter. I love you, Big Dirty, but you're a little overweight. I love you. Come on, you gotta get off the keto diet. You gotta stop eating out. All right. But Big Dirty talking about delivering RVs. Okay. So he basically said one thing to check for when you get an RV delivered is that the truck driver driving your RV, because RVs, many times someone drives them to the dealership. They're not on a flatbed. So he goes, the person driving your RV they're not supposed to be sleeping in your RV, sitting in your RV. They're supposed to be solely in the driving cabin. And if it's a towable travel trailer, they shouldn't be even in your RV. But you know what Big Dirty said? A lot of times he's at the truck stops and the transporters are all in those RVs with no socks on, no shoes, and guess what else they're probably doing? Masturbating in your Class A motorhome. And Big Dirty said, well, that's not me and Mark, though. Me and Mark play by the rules. We're men of integrity. Big Dirty was probably masturbating in the Class C he delivered last week. He blew a spot. Okay, that's what happens when you have a YouTube channel. So Big Dirty thought like he was going to make some money making a YouTube channel. He did a damn good job, too, making this video. But guess what? If the people who hired him see that YouTube video about him basically saying, look, guys, a lot of people who deliver RVs, they're masturbating in your RV. If they ever see that, they'll fire him. And then guess what? Big Dirty done lost his bag, his money bag. And so what I could tell you, then Big Dirty's got to go back to stripping. So Big Dirty, that's how quick YouTube turns on you, man. So be careful. Don't share too much. People want me to show them like my tax returns. Big Dirty, don't be scared to keep some stuff private, man. But I thought you did a good job on that video, Gilbert. Hey, everybody. I hope your day was filled with, I don't even know how to say that word, pacalism. Gilbert, you must have been inside all day, brother, because I've been dealing with people all day, brother, and I don't know what words you just said, but my day wasn't filled with apocalypsism. My day was filled with shit, man. Why? Because I deal with a lot of people, brother. So I love you, Big Gilbert, but I think you were indoors all day, man. I was outdoors. Big problems out here, guys. All right, let's take pause. Let's take a hydration break. Tucci, give me a shout out, please. Well, Tucci, you just got one, but you may be a little bit insecure if you ask for it. All right, let's laugh. Jacob, hey, Sammy, how are you? I'm doing the best I can, man. Work was great. Well, damn it, you keep showing up. You're going to make money. I got a compliment from a customer. There you go. The higher up saw it. Well, damn it, Jacob. You already know I'm a big fan of yours, brother. You keep doing you, okay? And I love you. I respect you, and I appreciate you, brother. You keep doing you, man. I'm very proud of you. And whatever you do, Jacob, don't make a video talking about how the people who cook Wendy's food masturbate in the back because Big Dirty done blew you up. Oh, XB Jeffy. XB Jeffy making some good ass videos, man. What was his video about today? Mental toughness. I thought it was great. But here's the key, guys. XB Jeffy said, look, living in your car takes a lot of mental toughness. He goes, and I'm physically tough too. XB Jeffy basically said he'll kick your ass. Why? Because he did 6 months of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So if you think like you're going to cause like XB Jeffy a problem if he catches you like, coming out of Starbucks and you're a psychopath that watched this video, XB Jeffy will fuck you up. Why? He did 6 months of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. XB Jeffy ain't playing around out there. XB Jeffy, let me tell you this, truth be told. You may need that defense skill. Why? You basically just cursed out your coworker. That's why, again, guys, you got to be careful having YouTube. XB Jeffy basically said he worked with a guy who had a gambling problem, and he just up and quit, and he put all the work on XB Jeffy. XB Jeffy working hard, he's mentally tough, and he'll fuck you up. Why? Because he knows jiu-jitsu. So he was working with some psychopath that was a gambler addicted to something in Vegas. The guy basically said, look, I'm going to be here forever. He was there for 5 weeks, and then he quit and spent all his money in Las Vegas. XB Jeffy had to pick up the slack, and he said the only thing holding on is that he's mentally tough, and he knows jiu-jitsu. So what I can tell you guys is subscribe to XB Jeffy because he got a lot of good stories, man. Good job, XB. Brandon, you've got to get all that negativity out. Well, it came out tonight, guys. Just like ejaculation. Just like personal release. Yep, you can get backed up. That's true. And then you are on the news. Vent. Well, I got to be careful venting because I'm in the same boat as you guys. Once you have a YouTube channel, everyone's watching you, but no one's commenting. And everyone's a psychopath. They're taking screenshots, and they're just disasters. That's the type of people you deal with in life. People are nasty. Big Dirty. We don't transfer to RVs anymore. Oh, yeah. Disclaimer note. The bad apples give us all a bad name. Well, yeah. So now I can freely spill the beans on the RV transport industry. Well, damn it, Big Dirty done went undercover. Big Dirty is like, He's like the what's that guy? Bill Hansen, the guy who would How to Catch a Predator. Big Dirty's How to Catch a Guy Masturbating Transporting Your RV. So Big Dirty will corner him in a truck stop and will say, look, this is Chris Hansen from NBC. What have you been doing in your customer's RV all day? And then Big Dirty like gives him an interview. It's a disaster, guy, but subscribe to Big Dirty because he's going to break it down. Cameron, I bet they are all destitute. Well, they had a lot of nice outfits on, and I was upset with them. Snow Panther, what's up, man? Have you ever lost in public dealing with people? No, by the grace of God, I haven't. So I'm very thankful for that. So pray for me. Because it's in my best interest not to. Jacob, thank you, Sam. I love you, brother. Big Dirty. You used to say if you had a van, you would just throw a mattress on the floor. Yep. Now that you've been a nomad for a while, do you feel the same way, or would you want a converted tiny house? I would never want a tiny house. I may want an RV on an RV lot. I'm tired of dealing with people. So sometimes I say to myself, Sam, do I make my life easier by getting an RV lot with a small little travel trailer on it that Big Dirty masturbated in when he delivered it there? But I say maybe, but then I got to deal with neighbors. So you got to deal with neighbors, but in Starbucks, you got to deal with an old-ass church group that's basically telling people how to bring God to the earth, but then they steal your seat. Pick your poison, guys. No matter where you go in life, you can't get away from people. You buy a tiny home in the middle of Virginia, guess what you're going to deal with? Some psychopath that's raising chickens next to you 20 acres away. And he's riding his four-wheeler next to your chicken herd. Disaster, guys. You can't get away from people. They're everywhere. So I don't know what I'm doing, Big Dirty. Right now, I'm just trying to hold on to my peace. Gilbert. I was outside all day building my van. There you go, brother. Escaping this crazy world. Well, Gilbert, once you get in that big van, brother, let me tell you something. Keep going, because it does get better, and I want you to live your best life. I love you, Gilbert. Quirky, smile. Non-jerks bothered you today. Had a cool beard like you. I hear you, Quirky. Journey with Jordan. Watch out, Sam. Don't be getting abducted by Nicki Minaj. Well, she's out there, and she's part of a church group, and she wants to bring the Lord to the masses. She wants to steal your seat while she's at it. I'm a traveling van. I got a new, bigger awning for my van today. Congratulations. Installing it tomorrow. Well, hey, renovations never stop, guys, and dealing with people never stop. So what I can tell you is welcome to this earth, okay? That until you die, you got to deal with people. Big Dirty. Don't buy a used RV. It's 4 years old. There's a chance it will masturbate. I don't know what that means. Data Geek, what's going on, Data Geek? I'm at the end of the night. I just gave out all my energy. Data Geek, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're still dealing with people as best you can at your job, and you're trying to be a positive force in this world. Thank you for everything, Data Geek. That's all right. You just do you, Data Geek. I love you. I love everyone out there. Prius says, Snow Panther says, Prius or RV? If you're middle-aged or as long as you're not a senior citizen, I would say Prius. Yeah, I would have to choose Prius. I'm not saying I would never get an RV. Maybe I get an RV tomorrow because I don't want to deal with people. But I would say Prius. Journey with Jordan. Hey, Daddy Geek. Daddy Geek, I love you too. Well, let's end on a positive note, guys. Peace and love. Stay positive. Click that thumbs up button. Share the video. And Journey with Jordan says Prius, RV, ideally. Daddy Geek, K Journey. All right, guys. I'm done. Peace and love. Stay positive.